spent in a miserable way.
U.S. News: Wichita teen home after walking on life support at hospital. The Wichita Eagle. January the 31st, 2019, 06:58 p.m. Wichita teenager Stu Radia is the first patient to ever walk on an invasive form of life support at Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. But it was the support of those around her that helped her climb the steps to her North Wichita home Thursday afternoon. The teenager's leg, "It's everything," Bree Kursky's mom said of returning home. "It's a whole lot of this announced they gained national attention last year when she became the while on extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, or ECMO, a particularly invasive form of life support." For the most comprehensive local coverage, subscribe today. Hundreds of thousands of people watched her walking on videos posted online by the Kansas City Star, CNN, and her mom. The soft-spoken, Iron Rule teen walked the hospital halls one last time on Thursday, tall and smiling, one day before her 17th birthday. Staff members, Sue Radia, 16, is the first patient at Children's Mercy Hospital to walk on ECMO, a form of life support that pumps blood from her heart, oxygenates it, then pumps it back in her body. Sus lungs failed. She spent 457 days at Children's Mercy, but returning home is the end of a mysterious medical story. It was just one month after spending her 16th birthday in the hospital. She did want to spend another one there. "This was a big goal for us, and it was a little difficult for us to achieve," Kursky said. "We had lots of ups, about 50 friends and family, including classmates and teachers from North High School, held signs with messages of support and sang happy birthday to Stu as she got out of the van. A lot happened while she was gone. Stu's first North High students sent cards and care packages and talked to Stu through social media and video calls," Von Fitch said. "And in return to her, all of the kids know that she's battling for her life, and yet she's still being very positive and getting up and moving and walking and doing physical therapy when she does want to. I think helps them see that little things like homework and having to go to class when you did go to sleep on time aren't that big of a deal," Von Fitch said. Stu has also become an inspiration to hospital staff and to others who only know her from those online videos. But that was never her. After more than a year in the hospital, her recovery continues. Doctors still didn't. In fact, her doctors were crazy about the idea of her going home. Normally, but the medical staff has learned that Stu's not a textbook case, and she does take no for an answer. So they worked with her. "I am excited to have more freedom," Stu said this week. "I won't be confined." The family is grateful for the care Stu received at Children's Mercy, but the family is also ready to go home. "They've saved her life," Kursky said, "and I feel like there's no medication at this time that could supplant the benefits of home for her spirit." So on Thursday, Stu and her family piled into their Ford Flex and headed back to Wichita, with a van full of medical equipment following them. Kursky sat in. They had small liquid oxygen tanks in the car, as well as the larger regular tank. "If all of that failed," she said this matter-of-factly, in part because she's a nurse but also because she's had to become comfortable with her daughter's mortality over the past year. She has been the rock to keep Stu strong through the storm, the constant presence making sure Stu could exert some control over her own recovery and not be completely swept up in medical protocols. Kursky has spent almost all of the last 456 nights sleeping in Stu's various hospital rooms, most recently curled up on a small sofa next to her window. "At home I was never very close to her," Stu said. "This brought us a lot," and Kursky planned to gradually reduce that reliance now. After about a month, she will be home, but it won't be quite the same as before. Kursky knows that many people are following Stu's case and cheering her on. She's almost, but the reality is that Stu is still going through a lotion. She is still fragile. Stu was kept alive on ECMO for a staggering 190 days. Before her, For more than a year she barely felt the sun, confined either to the hospital itself or the grounds around it. She said her lows. She turned 17 on Friday. I don't want much of a party or anything, she said. I just want to be. She has figured out what it all means. Her brush with death, her long hospitalization, how she was able to do things few people in the world have done. There are still many questions, but she is closer to accepting it. There's nothing I can do about it, she said. Just be alive. After 467 days, this much she knows: no matter what happens, you can't quit. Whatever you're going through, she said, just keep going through it. Sue Radio, who had unexplained lung failure and walked while on life support, leaves Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City to go home to Wichita. Jason Tidd is a reporter at the Wichita Eagle covering breaking news, crime and court. Kansas City Star Health reporter Andy Marso was part of a Pulitzer Prize finalist team at the Star and previously won state and regional awards at the Topeka Capital Journal and Kansas Health Institute News Service. He has written to support my work with a digital subscription. January the 31st, 2019, 08:46 p.m. Wichita police say that Carlos Williams led cops on a chase before crashing near Central and Rock on Thursday after Bel Air officers started the chase during the tolerance traffic enforcement on Rock Road. For the most comprehensive local coverage, subscribe today. Real-time updates and all local stories you want right in the palm of your hand.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.